Welcome back to News 46. Cardiovascular disease is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. Statins are a prescription medication that can help decrease the risk for cardiovascular disease. But just who is at risk? The U.S. Preventative Services Task Force, an independent group of medical professionals, continually reviews the latest information on a wide range of preventive services, including cardiovascular disease. The task force has just issued a new recommendation statement on statin use for adults who are at risk for cardiovascular disease.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
In the United States, 1 in 3 adults will die from cardiovascular disease. Many doctors prescribe statins as a way to reduce cholesterol levels, lowering a patient's risk for a heart attack or stroke.
The risk factors for cardiovascular disease include high cholesterol, high blood pressure, smoking, diabetes, and your age.
Dr. Douglas Owens, an author of the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force recommendation, says the group recommends that some people, age 40 to 75, who have one or more of those risk factors, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, smoking or diabetes, and do not have a history of cardiovascular disease, and whose chance of having a heart attack or stroke over the next 10 years is 7.5% or higher, use a statin. Those whose risk is 10% or higher will benefit most. Although there are risks, Dr. Owens says the use of a statin, along with a healthy diet and exercise, can be a useful tool in the fight against cardiovascular disease.
The benefits of statins are a reduction in heart attacks, strokes, and death. The harms of statins we judge based on our very comprehensive review of the literature to be small. And in patients who are at elevated risk for cardiovascular disease, the benefits outweigh the harms.
Laura Berger, The JAMA Report.
The task force found the evidence for initiating statins for people over 75 to be insufficient.
Well, first responders were dispatched to a reported structure fire last night.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and Nye County Sheriff's deputies responded to a reported structure fire last night right before midnight on the south end of town. Fire crews converged on a trailer located on Santovito Street. According to the report, the residents inside the home stated that a dryer was billowing black smoke and had caught the structure on fire. All occupants exited the residence and were uninjured. The fire was extinguished and no extensions were located. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. A former law enforcement agent speaks out to News 46, giving his opinion regarding the Sheriff's Department and Shane Hodge, the local man involved in a controversial arrest, which involved Under Sheriff Brent Moody.
These are the opinions of former Southern California police officer and political activist Dave Champion, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of KPVM News. Champion says Moody's actions are a direct reflection of the alleged misconduct from the top down in the Sheriff's Department.
I was in law enforcement for 6 years, and I've never seen anything like this. She attended the October Donuts with the DA meeting, and at that point she said that she told all of the assembled people that Brent Moody was a Alaska peace officer and he was entitled to Nevada reciprocity. Well, according to this letter, which was received by her agency when she was sheriff back in January of 2015, the state of Alaska specifically told her that Brent Moody did not have Alaska peace officer status.
Also at issue is the fact that Under Sheriff Brent Moody is not and never has been certified in Nevada, according to Mike Sherlock, Executive Director of the Nevada Commission on Peace Officer Standards and Training, or Nevada Post. Sherlock says Moody's extension to try to become post-certified expired on August 2nd, 2016, after he did not pass the physical training to enter the academy due to a reported leg injury he incurred during the physical test. The alleged problem is that Shane Hodge's arrest was at 1:10 a.m. on August 3rd, an hour and 10 minutes after Moody's extension to try to become certified expired.
And then the Sheriff's Department, which speaks for Sharon Worley, says, oh, he was just a civilian assisting sworn personnel. come on. Who in their right mind would believe that?
Shane Hodge says on the night in question, Moody was dressed in uniform and had a firearm like the other officers who were on active duty.
All had their weapons drawn, giving me commands. Under Sheriff Moody, at that time, once I was placed in the cuffs, holstered his weapon and asked me if I knew why they were there that night.
However, Under Sheriff Moody says Hodge's recount is false and claims he never had contact with Hodge.
They knock on the doors, they yell and scream and so on and so forth. I stand out there, he comes out, they handcuff him, I walk and get back in my car and drive away. That was my involvement. I never said a word to the man.
Nevada law allows Sharon to have an undersheriff that's not a cop, who's just an administrator. That's permissible. The question is that what the people of Nye County really want? Do they want somebody making $98,000 a year as an administrator, who, by the way, has absolutely zero skills as an administrator, when they could be putting a couple sergeants or 3 patrol deputies on the street?
Hodge will fight these and other matters related to his case, in which he's facing charges including assault with a deadly weapon, during his pretrial hearing scheduled on January 10th, 2017. This is Unette Gentry reporting for News 46.
All right, we'll have more when we return.